This time last year, we were packing our house to sell it. It was a hard time. It was emotional because you had absolutely no idea where it was going. We sold our house, we moved out, we moved in with my parents and consolidated households. And here we are a year later, standing on our property, building it out. It's just been an amazing turn of events just by taking a few steps forward. Being on the property during the changes of season have been really, it's been a blessing. We've been able to see things change, the leaves, what the land looks like. I mean, it's just been great. So looking at what we've gotten done in the last 2 days, we've gotten the pipe on the stove. We have finished the tile wall, but I need to grout it in. We still have some things to do on the stove, and we're still burning kerosene, which, let's talk about that for a second. Like, I bought a kerosene heater, and I'm convinced that the price is about the same for propane versus kerosene for the amount of what it burns and how it works and all of that. But the buddy heater, oh man, there's so much to talk about. So we have really been getting into figuring out what is a good thing to put your money into when you're looking for like heaters, things that produce heat. So you can run your generator and run your space dish, which I did all right here. We added that, but we're using good fuel to burn and make heat that it just didn't make sense. So what we decided is that the wood stove, of course, is going to bring you the best bang for your buck. There's woods all over the property, right? But in the meantime, we bought a kerosene heater. And I was like, oh yeah, a kerosene heater, that's great. We used to use those in Maine, and it was just very, very inexpensive to run. You get your K1 at the gas station, so it was super easy. You go and you fill it up just like you would get fuel. You could get fuel at the same time, so it made it easy. When you live out in the country and you have to drive a ways to get in, you kind of make your trips like combined. Well, here I can't get kerosene for less than like $29 for 2.5 gallons. And that's not the only place I can get it, but once I can get it cheaper, it'll be more cost effective to run the kerosene heater. Right now it's taking about 1.5 gallons to run it like through the night. It's like 26, 27, 29 at night, so it's a little cold. And when, like, there's our house, it's not like it's just on skids. So the air comes under there and the ground stays very cold, like the floor in the house is cold. So we're just trying to figure out a cost-effective and efficient way to heat things right now while we get the stove in. And it's always good to have backups for your backups. It's so expensive to build out anything, you know, but with an off-grid house, what's cool is it's like a one-time thing. Like, you put your money into it, you get it done, your wood-burning stove is in. You don't have a monthly bill coming from the electric company of heating your house. It's payoff. So I was gonna buy a buddy heater and bring that out here for it to be what we used as a heater while we put in the wood stove. We've been here 2 days and it's proven a lot of challenges. We've done a lot of learning in the department of the wood stove. The learning we've done has been super great. We had no idea. Okay, I'll speak for me. I had no idea what went into piping in a stove. when you are from the city and you just turn on a switch for something or things are automatically there, you don't even think about it. You don't even think about how you're going to get to something, where it's going to come from, any of that. So it's been a lot of learning from the perspective that we learned about double-walled pipe. We learned about how it has to go out of the wall. I mean, there were so many awesome things that came out of it, but it took a while. It didn't go as fast as we thought. Also, tiling in the wall, I ran out of the product I was using and I had to go get more. And so there just proved to be a lot of things that, like, it doesn't go as fast as you think. And when you're on a time crunch, oh my gosh, like, I can't tell you, you're on a time crunch. You have only a certain amount of time to get things done. So now's not the time to have to go back into town. But these are the lessons you learn. And really, we've lived in the country before, and I remember, like, you had to find creative ways to make cottage cheese or go without, you know? So I really understand. It's just getting back into the swing of things. I will say I've slept better than I've slept in a long time, since probably the last time I was here. Listen, there's no cars. There's no airplanes. I don't even hear any animals right now. The peace is tranquil. I just pray God shows us what to do with this land. You know, one of the hardest things that we've had to face is just really what the change means to try to uproot your life and everything that you've worked hard to obtain. Careers, good jobs, residence. But when you choose something different, you know why you're making a different choice. It starts to kind of help you move forward. And I was talking to one of my friends, and he was like, once you make a decision, you have to just stick with it and go with it. And I so agree with that. I think that as you get older, it makes you a little bit weary to make abrupt, quick decisions. You really want to make sure that you know what exactly it is that you're doing and why. When you were younger, like, we used to just make crazy choices, like move or, you know, whatever. This time last year, we were packing our house to sell it. It was a hard time. It was emotional because you had absolutely no idea where it was going. You had absolutely no idea of telling what you were going to have in the future. You were just giving up everything and trusting in God that you were going to have a place for yourself and that what you're doing is the right thing. So we sold our house. We moved out. We moved in with my parents and consolidated households. And here we are a year later, standing on our property, building it out. It's just been an amazing turn of events just by taking a few steps forward. Just by taking a few steps of faith and trusting. I guess that's when you believe in something. And I believe in freedom. I believe in our liberty. I believe in our rights to be able to do what we want to do. If that's grow our own food, raise our own animals, teach our kids the values that we think they should be learning. It's a fight, and we have to keep doing it. And if this is our little tiny step to do that and move forward in that, what's our part? I'm thankful to be in this position. I'm thankful to be looking at it from a position of how can I build this out and not, oh my gosh, how can I obtain this? There was a lot of steps that went into it, and it was heartbreaking. There was a lot of things that were hard for all of us for what we did. You know, we sold our house. We left everything. Our daughter moved out, and not out of like anger, but just like that's the next step, right? And that was hard for us, you know. Life moves on, I know that. But when you choose things and change comes, it just gets a little bit like questionable. You start thinking, am I doing the right thing? So here we are, staring at the acreage. Blank slate. What are we going to do with it? What choices are we going to make? How are we going to make a difference? Super important. Something to think about. This is an example of how we chose to buy dirt and not diamonds. I hope that it encourages somebody. I hope that somebody sees our story and says, hey, if they can do that, maybe we can. We're praying blessings on you. Buy dirt, not diamonds. We'll see you soon.